Right now at 10, residents rally against a new data center in Janesville, while they say the city is withholding information from the community. And an investigation launched into a Madison school over claims of sexual assault, how police are addressing misinformation being spread online. Plus, Jordan Love proved himself last night against Aaron Rodgers. Jason Wilde tells us how the Packers quarterback continues to grow both on and off the field. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke. Sarah is off tonight. Residents in Janesville are protesting potential plans for a data center. It's at the site of the old General Motors plant. Our Maddie Heimsch brings us their concerns and the status of the site.
The city of Janesville has yet to confirm what will go up at the site of the former GM plant, but Janesville residents at tonight's Common Council meeting are making it known what they don't want to go up at the site.
It should be up to the people of Janesville to decide what goes in the GM site.
On the south side of Janesville, the nearly 250-acre lot, once host to the city's primary employer, has sat empty since the GM assembly plant was demolished in 2018.
I would like to see that become a part of that community in the neighborhoods that surround it. We need shopping. We need grocery stores on the south side.
Development on the site will require significant environmental cleanup. Much of the soil contaminated from decades of automotive chemicals leaking into the ground. But if that development is for a data center, some residents say the environmental cleanup will be for nothing.
I think putting a data center in there is a step back, not a step forward. Water pollution, the light pollution from it being on 24/7, the noise pollution of the constant humming from all of the electronics and the HVAC system.
According to the Environmental and Energy Study Institute, data centers account for more and more of the country's energy consumption, generate millions of tons of carbon emissions, and can consume up to 5 million gallons of water per day.
Regular people, they don't want to see their energy rates go up. They don't want to see their water rates go up.
The City Council deliberated data center proposals in a closed session. The next council meeting will take place November 10th. Reporting in Janesville, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. Now to the weather. A nice day, pretty comfortable out there and some sunshine. Alex, will these conditions stick around much longer?
On and off throughout the course of the week. Temperature-wise, for sure, up to 56 on Tuesday, still in the low to mid-50s Wednesday and Thursday. Halloween Friday will still be at 51. And then our temperatures will take a dip into the upper 40s to right around 50 as we go into the beginning of November. And this is very typical for this time of year, just a couple degrees below normal. So overall, temperatures are going to stick around for fairly close to normal. But precipitation amounts, we got a little bit of water on the way for some parts of southern Wisconsin Tuesday going into Tuesday night. Just a tiny chance of a shower as a heads up here as we go into Halloween Friday night and into Saturday. And when I come back here in a couple of minutes, we're going to track that weather system moving into the area, or at least it's going to try to move into the area Tuesday going on into Tuesday night. I'll let you know which parts of southern Wisconsin could get wet Tuesday going into Tuesday night. That's in just a couple of minutes, Eric.
Alex, thank you. The State Department of Justice is investigating after a Fort Atkinson police officer shot and killed a person last night. Officers called to a home on Washington Street in Fort Atkinson after reports of a disturbance with shots fired. The Department of Justice says officers surrounded the home. One fired their weapon, hitting a person. First responders flew that person to a hospital here in Madison, where they later died. A rifle not belonging to officers, we are told, was found at the scene. We spoke with one neighbor who saw the police presence from his back porch.
Came out here, heard a lot of commotion around here. You know, they had the road blocked off over here at first. But I heard a faint bang, and then I heard pop, 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 pop. You know, and it was surreal.
We've learned the officer involved was wearing a body camera and has been placed on administrative leave, as is protocol. News 3 Now has put in a formal request for that body camera footage. And Madison police are asking the public to verify information after they saw viral posts containing misinformation connected to an investigation into sexual assault allegations against Madison School District employees. Police say based on initial interviews and security camera video at Whitehorse Middle School, details shared widely on social media are inaccurate and potentially harmful. A spokesperson for the district, for police, was able to only confirm to News 3 Now that the address used in one of those posts belonged to people who police say have nothing to do with the case.
So these are people just living their lives who are now, fearful, frankly, because their address is being posted as involved when so far we don't think that's the case. Social media posts should not be driving how we react in our community. It should certainly make people ask questions.
Officers tell News 3 Now they have had to divert resources and attention to investigating threats made on social media toward those residents and other information that appears to be inaccurate. They are working with the district, which is conducting its own separate investigation. Today, Madison's mayor and police chief provided an update on public safety in the city. Chief John Patterson says there's been an impressive decline in crime for 2025. Comparing this year to Madison's 3-year average, there has been a 43% decrease in burglaries and a 52% drop in stolen vehicles. Further, homicides have seen a 55% drop, with just 3 so far this year compared to the average of 7.
We are extremely proud, both as a police department and as members of Team City, to see this type of decline this year. I think it's really indicative of how our officers have embraced data-informed decision-making, data-informed problem-solving.
Chief Patterson says this drop in crime is also a reflection of the improved collaborations with public health, the fire department, and also Madison schools. The Beloit Police and Fire Commission has named 3 finalists to be the city's new police chief. They are Anthony Maselli, the chief of police for the city of Geneva, Sconella Stewart, the Patrol Investigation and Community Policing Unit Commander in Oak Park, Illinois, near Chicago, and Ty Eagleson, the deputy chief of the Bureau of Investigative Services in Rockford. Back in May, Beloit's former chief of police, Andre Sales, stepped down to join the police department in Seattle, Washington. A forum with the 3 finalists can be found on the City of Beloit's YouTube channel. Well, after nearly a month-long halt, Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin will begin offering abortions once again. The organization says it dropped its designation as a, quote, essential community provider, defined under the Affordable Care Act. Now, that means it no longer fits the description of a prohibited entity under a new federal law that took effect just this month, and it can now receive Medicaid funds. State Attorney General Josh Kaul says there will continue to be court battles over the issue.
This remains a hotly contested issue, both at the federal level and likely at the state level as well. Again, we've gotten some clarification, but the legislature can take action to change abortion law in Wisconsin. And so it remains important that we keep working to protect access to safe and legal abortion.
The Attorney General adds the multi-state lawsuit challenging the provision of President Trump's budget bill limiting access to Medicaid funds is still ongoing. In fact, it's only in its early stages. The FDA has approved a new non-hormonal drug to treat hot flashes and night sweats for women in menopause. Data from clinical trials shows the drug, it's known as elinzanetant, significantly reduced the frequency and severity of hot flashes and improved sleep for women who cannot or choose not to take hormones. It does come with some side effects, including headache, fatigue, and drowsiness. Now, the FDA already approved another non-hormonal hot flash remedy this year called Veozah. And more than 100 million people in the United States have some form of liver disease. If left untreated, a transplant may be needed, but right now there aren't enough donors to meet that demand. To help address the shortage, the American Liver Foundation has launched the Living Donor Network. This new initiative creates a database to connect people who wish to donate part of their liver to someone they don't know, with transplant centers nationwide. It was an emotional and historic day in Richland County as the Wisconsin Supreme Court and community members honored retiring Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. The Richland Center native, Justice Bradley's journey from local beginnings to Chief Justice of Wisconsin's highest court inspired those gathered in the very courthouse where her career started.
And I want to welcome and congratulate Emeritus Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, who rose up out of our small town to become the Chief Justice of the highest court in the state. Mine will no longer be the prettiest picture on the wall.
It implicates the right to a jury trial.
Okay, well, today's event at the Richland County Courthouse marked the Supreme Court's visit as part of the Justice on Wheels program, honoring Justice Bradley's contributions to the Wisconsin legal system. Packers quarterback Jordan Love, fresh off that electric performance against his mentor last night, Aaron Rodgers. And that growth is also showing in the Packers locker room. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more on Love's rising status in Green Bay.
Jordan Love was magnificent on Sunday night in the Packers' 35-25 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. He threw for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. He completed 20 consecutive passes, something that not even Aaron Rodgers, while he was winning 4 NFL MVPs here in Green Bay, had done. But it wasn't the first time Love has played at a high level. His teammates have seen that before. What they hadn't seen was him do that when one of the GOATs, his predecessor, Aaron Rodgers, was the starting quarterback for the opponent. And that has value in the locker room and with Love's leadership.
Well, I think it's pretty meaningful I think that speaks also to the respect that we have for a guy like Aaron Rodgers and the guys that were here and were able to witness and see how he would perform, not only on the Sundays, but also in practice and all that. But Jordan's shown a ton of growth. We have a ton of confidence in him, and I thought he played a complete game.
We'll see if Love can keep that streak going with another strong performance this coming Sunday against the Carolina Panthers here at Lambeau Field. We'll have full coverage leading up to the game and of the game itself on our website, channel3000.com, where our coverage is always free. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
And the Packers are back home this week to face off against the Carolina Panthers. Kickoff set for noon on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Well, next at 10, Hurricane Melissa heading for Jamaica. And it is the 4th week now of the government shutdown, the strain being felt by federal workers as their paychecks come in empty. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
With the federal government shutdown now in its 4th week, the pain is becoming real for many Americans. Nearly 500,000 federal employees missed their first full paycheck on Friday, and this week thousands more are expected to not be paid. Olivia Rinaldi with the latest from Capitol Hill.
Across the nation, communities are bracing for November 1st, the date the federal government says SNAP benefits, which provide food assistance to 40 million Americans, will be cut off as a result of the shutdown. Democratic lawmakers say the federal government could continue to provide SNAP benefits, but is opting not to.
They found $20 billion to send to the country of Argentina. We've got people saying, I don't know how I'm going to make it.
Republicans insist it's up to Democrats to reopen the government.
And we have voted many times, over a dozen times, collectively 13 times, to reopen the government, to keep it open and reopen it once the Democrats closed it.
Food pantries are doing what they can to help, but those who rely on SNAP benefits are worried.
You know, I'm just one person, but what's going to happen with a family that has 2 or 3, 4 children, whatever? What are they going to do?
Furloughed federal workers are also seeking assistance. Many lined up on Monday at a food stand in Washington, D.C. after missing their first full paychecks Friday.
In the Senate, there are no signs of a breakthrough. Democrats continue to hold out for an extension to those health care subsidies, and Republicans refuse to budge.
On Monday, the Senate chaplain offered pointed remarks to lawmakers.
Lord, remind our lawmakers that no gold medals are given for breaking shutdown records.
The shutdown continues to impact travel, with the FAA saying staffing shortages led to major flight delays over the weekend. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Vice President J.D. Vance expected to attend the Senate Republican conference tomorrow, and CBS News sources say lawmakers are considering focusing on a narrower bill this week, including measures to pay air traffic controllers and also military members. Hurricane Melissa slowly barreling toward Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 storm. Melissa expected to be the strongest storm in recorded history to hit Jamaica. The wind already lifting some of the metal roofs off homes along the shore. Some areas may see more than 3 feet of rain. The National Hurricane Center warns it'll likely cause life-threatening flash flooding and landslides.
There is a lot of rainfall that is projected. We all have to be very, very careful and be prepared for the worst.
The storm has already been deadly as it moved over Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Police there are using drones to deliver supplies to people cut off by the flooding. It's been dry around here. And Alex, will these conditions stick around for those trick-or-treaters come Friday.
Yeah, for the most part, if you flash back last year, a couple years prior, we've had snow. Even last year, we had an alert day for cold temperatures and a little bit of snow and breezy conditions. Nothing like that this year. Let's put our graphics into motion at 4 p.m. Clouds will be on the increase. Temperature will be up around 51 degrees. Going a little bit further into the evening at 6 o'clock. Feeling a bit on the chilly side at 48. Can't rule out the chance of an isolated shower as we go a little bit later into Friday evening with temperatures at 45. And this, again, significant progress from what we have had over the past couple of Halloweens. So not quite as cold and blustery as what we've experienced in past years. Well, let's take a look at the temperatures here for the next 10 days. 56 for high temperature Tuesday, dipping down into the 40s to right around 50 as we go out into November. And that's fairly typical for this time of year. Just a touch below normal. Certainly nothing significantly below normal. Now, we do have a little bit of water in the forecast Tuesday going into Tuesday night, but it's just a tiny, tiny chance here. Let's track that here together. Future track showing some showers, and this is an update here. Now eyeing up areas towards the Mississippi River, really struggling to make it into southwest Wisconsin. The reason why? Strong east winds. These are dry winds, and those dry winds are going to be battling that rain, trying to make it to the ground. Eventually, as we go into Tuesday night, maybe a shower out towards Grant County, but I think a lot of places are going to stay dry for areas Madison and points to the north and east, and then the sun comes out on Wednesday with strong winds, though, out of the northeast. Those gusty winds lasting into Wednesday, 54 on Thursday. There's that Halloween. Temperatures up around 51. Don't forget, we turn back the clock Saturday night with temperatures in the upper 40s, straight around 50 Saturday going on into Sunday. Got the Packers game on Sunday, and I got a forecast for you. While our chances for rain are not too terribly high in southern Wisconsin, a little better chance north and east up towards Green Bay. So be prepared that it could be a bit on the wet side with some chilly temperatures. But we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully that weather system will stay a little bit further to the north. We'll be letting you know throughout the course of the week. First, to let you know, as we go out a little bit closer to the middle of November, our temperatures are likely going to be on the increase. Water, not really to be seen. Looks like we'll be still stuck overall in a dry pattern for much of the country, and we can't leave this forecast here. This is an incredibly impressive satellite loop here of Hurricane Melissa. I know we were just talking about it before, but Eric, this is textbook.
Look at that eye on that thing.
It's unbelievable. I've called this on my social media classically horrific. Mm-hmm. It's that perfect circle, and when you see that perfect concentric circle, you know you're looking at an incredible monster hurricane.
No, ocean still very warm, even this late in fall. When you look at that, obviously our thoughts are with the folks at Jamaica. Yes. What is in the path beyond that? Do we know where it's going?
Yeah, we do. It's going to head up into the Cuba area, then into the Bahamas. Luckily, the weather systems here at this latitude, this far north, are going to move out into the Atlantic.
Let's get it out into the ocean as quick as we can. Alex, thank you. Ahead in sports, it's been a rough one for the Badger football team, but Andrew Banstra tells us why Luke Fickell says it's not all doom and gloom. Stay with us.
When Wisconsin football's schedule came out this year, it was more frightening than some of the costumes that you may see on Friday, especially the month of October. They played 3 ranked teams plus a really good Iowa team and came away winless. Wisconsin's loss to Oregon was their 6th straight overall, and for as bad of shape as this program is in, Luke Fickell says there are still some positives to point to.
They understood what this mountain was going to look like. I think the mountain has gotten a hell of a lot bigger than even what we thought from the get-go. But it's not hard for me to go in there and look in some of those seniors' eyes and to realize that they got 1 month of college football left, and to give them everything I got. This is unfortunately it's a part of the game that sucks. But that they got something to play for still.
John Blackwell was not heavily recruited out of high school, but from the first time you saw him take the floor as a Badger, you just knew he was going to be a star. Most, if not all of the teammates he had when he arrived on campus are gone. When Wisconsin men's basketball opens their season a week from tonight, it is his time to shine. This, he says, is his team.
I mean, it's just a blessing to be able to lead these guys because I've been through it, through the system, and then I just try to take what the guys ahead of me gave me, like game they gave me, to lead it on to them. just share some knowledge. Even if it's the older guys, younger guys coming in, share just a piece of knowledge almost every single day.
The Milwaukee Bucks are back in action, and they are back on News 3 Now. We will carry 8 select games free and over the air this season. Starting on November 15th, when LeBron James and the Lakers will play right here on News 3 Now. The 7 remaining games will air on our sister channel, Television Wisconsin. And every Bucks game is a must-watch because of this guy. Giannis was named the Eastern Conference's Player of the Week after becoming the first player in NBA history to score 100 points, grab 40 rebounds, and dish 15 assists in his team's first 3 games. We'll be right back with a final check of that first warn forecast on News 3 Now.
Colbert's All New. It was a beautiful day here in America because Donald Trump is out of the country. And with Emma Thompson, All New CBS Tonight.
Finally tonight, the Henry Vilas Zoo's newest resident is getting acclimated to his new digs. Siku, the male polar bear, arrived at the zoo on Friday. He spent the weekend exploring his 2 yards, multiple pools, and denning bedrooms, while also being introduced to the zoo's female bear, Barrett. Siku weighs in at just over 1,200 pounds, and his arrival coincides with the anticipated arrival of Nora, a female polar bear coming from the Oregon Zoo in Portland. I was out of town those couple of days ago, but was it chilly here as well over the weekend? Maybe the bear loved it. Loved coming to Madison. This is the time of the year to get here. The temperatures start to drop.
We got a La Nina winter ahead for them too, so maybe we'll get them a little bit of snow to play in.
They'll love that.
We'll see how that pans out. At least not snow this Halloween, but you and I have talked numerously.
It's happened.
It seems to happen.
I remember you want to
often.
bundle the kids up in little warm costumes when a couple years ago, because we'd have snow at least on the grass.
On the grass, yes. This year, not going to happen this time around. Looking like a pretty decent forecast. Lows tonight, upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. Clouds on the increase. A weather system is going to try its hardest to make it into southern Wisconsin, but it's going to struggle with strong east winds. I think most places will stay dry as we go through Tuesday, except for far southwest Wisconsin. Might pick up a couple of showers as we go into Tuesday night and going into the early part of Wednesday. There's that Halloween forecast, 51 degrees, maybe a tiny chance of a shower. But again, overall, this forecast is dry and looking exactly the way it should for this time of year.
All right, sounds good. Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Coming up now, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, our next newscast tomorrow morning at 4:30. And you can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.